Last week, me and a buddy of mine went to a show in Knoxville. And while we were there at one point, we walked out onto this back patio to have a cigar. Now, this patio was a few feet off the ground, had one of those iron fences around it. We're just standing next to the fence having our cigar, and there's people walking along on the sidewalk below us. This guy comes up, and he's got in his hand these passports to heaven. And he says, "Hey, guys," he said, "I'm out here trying to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. Would you be interested in these passports to heaven?" We was like, "Nah, man, we're not interested." He walked away. A little time passed. He circled back again. He said, "Guys, I ain't having no luck getting rid of these things. I came out here today to spread this gospel and get this and share my story with people, and I'm just not having any luck, giving these to anybody. You sure you wouldn't want to take them?" We was like, "Nah, man, really, it's just not our thing, but thanks anyway." So he walks away. Pretty good time passes. We're still standing there. Cigars last a while. We're standing there, and he circles back for the third time. When he comes back the third time, he's like, "Guys, I don't know what it is about y'all," he said, "but the Lord just keeps laying it upon my heart to come back and talk to you." He said, "You seem like reasonable guys." He said, "I just want you to know that I'm not passing judgment on you, okay?" He said, "I'm not saying that you have to believe like me. I'm not trying to invite you to church, and I don't want no money from you. Nothing like that." He said, "I would just like to share my story and tell you why I feel so compelled to be out here talking about this." Well, now at this point, me and my buddy's kind of intrigued, so we're like, "Okay, man, sure, go ahead and tell your story." So he does. And when he tells his story, it's pretty dark. You could see that this dude had clearly hit rock bottom. And when he did, he found Jesus, and that's what helped him get out of his dark times. So when he got done telling his story, I was like, "Well, man, I'm really glad you made it. I'm glad you're still here. Glad you're still alive to share your story. I'm glad you found some peace." He's like, "Well, would you be willing to take these now?" We was like, "Yeah, sure, man, we'll take them." So I took it and put it in my back pocket. I still haven't read it yet, but I got it in the house. On the way home, I got to thinking a whole lot about that guy. And I thought, he didn't ask us for money. He didn't invite us to church. He just wanted to be out there sharing his story. He felt compelled to do so. Now, I've hit rock bottom before, and I didn't come to the same conclusions he did. When I hit rock bottom, I didn't hear God or the devil. I just heard a crazy man talking to himself. But if that's what got that guy through the day, and that's what helped bring him out of that dark place, then I'm glad he made it. A lot of people on here, when I do content about organized religion and the evangelical movement, a lot of people will say things like that I hate Christians, that I have a problem with Christians. I've never had a problem with guys like that. I've never had a problem with people who just wanted to share their story and try to uplift somebody else. I've never had a problem with the words in red of feeding the hungry, of clothing the naked, of giving the thirsty something to drink, of visiting those in prison, of loving your neighbor and loving your enemy. I've never had a problem with any of those words. The people that have had a problem with those words, though, are the right-wing evangelicals who have hijacked the damn movement and taken it over, and that's what I've always had the problem with. I've always had the problem with the fact that Lauren Boebert stands up and tells people like us that we should chase Jesus more. That's the problem I have. As far as that guy goes, I hope he makes it. I hope that he makes it. I hope he continues to stay clean. I hope he continues to find peace in this world. And if believing that he's got a passport to heaven is what gets him through the day, I don't have a problem with that at all. My only hope is he doesn't get swept up by some cultish evangelical bunch of hypocrites and distorted and diluted. That would be my hopes for the guy.